Welcome to our meeting to discuss the organizational systems at Hillsborough Community College. For the past 10 weeks, I've been analyzing the various parts of our college. Hillsborough Community College is a growing organization, and we need to look at our college as a whole and make sure that we are prepared to deal with change. Today we're going to take some time and examine the personal systems within Hillsborough Community College, such as personal mastery, mental models, our shared vision, and the team learning that's going on within the various campuses. We'll take a look at the organizational systems of HCC in light of the STAR model, which is a holistic view of the framework of HCC. We'll also examine how HCC is dependent upon its resources and how it functions with operational excellence. Finally, we'll wrap up the presentation by examining the management functions of planning, leading, organizing, and controlling the affairs of our community college. Personal mastery is a way that we refer to the discipline of growing and learning, and it is a process. And there are basic characteristics that someone with a high level of personal mastery possesses. And when I look at the employees and students at HCC, I see that each one of us has a special sense of purpose or a calling. Although our interests are somewhat varied, the different people of HCC are all inquisitive and wanting to know more about various topics that interest us. Often in the midst of a long project, employees might realize it's going to be a while before they reap any benefits from all the work that they are presently doing, such as starting a new class or working with new cluster arrangements. But when we as employees work and we realize that we've got that delayed gratification, that shows that we are exercising a key component of personal mastery. When we can focus on our intrinsic desires, and we know that ultimate gratification is somewhere off in the future. As members of the Hillsborough Community College organization, we have a vision for our school. Yet we are in a current reality of our organization as it is today, and we are so busy in all of the different roles that we fulfill here at the college. However, we can use that disparity between our current reality of where we are and this vision that we have out in front of us. We can use that to generate strength and energy to change our current situation. And striving for that vision is part of our process for personal mastery. I see HCC as striving to meet the needs of its students. And HCC has future goals for growth and improvement, and that is such a positive place to be. One might ask, how can we have open communication between all the various departments at HCC? Well, we need to be aware of our preconceived mental models. There might be a professor that has a certain idea of what he or she thinks goes on in the business office or maybe the financial affairs office. We might have a guidance counselor that is making assumptions about what the curriculum committee is doing. The faculty and staff use these ideas and assumptions to make sense of the various parts of our college. And these mental models, whether they are true or not, shape how the faculty and the staff act. As students' needs change, and HCC changes to accommodate the needs of students, this gap between a mental model or preconceived idea and what is actually true in reality is growing. That gap just widens. An individual's mental model regulates what is seen and how one behaves. And sometimes it's hard for us as individuals to analyze and ascertain our own mental models, but we can make an effort to. And as a college, we can provide tools that would promote personal awareness and help all of the faculty and staff participate in reflective thinking. The leaders of our college can create a culture that promotes analysis of what we're doing and makes it okay to question the philosophy of our school. Years ago, the traditional way to run HCC was managing, organizing, and controlling. And that pattern of thinking led members of our organization to avoid any threats that might come about by exploring new learning opportunities. But our organization shouldn't be stuck in some kind of a thinking pattern. We should be a learning organization. And I see that as a primary need of HCC. So we need to ask ourselves today, how can we foster a learning HCC? Well, I think we need to slow down our thinking processes and reflect on our mental models and how they influence our decision making and our behavior. That professor might make an assumption about what his or her supervisor thinks and never really slow down to question this generalization that was made. Whether the assumption is true or not, well, if that professor believes that the assumption is a fact, he or she's not going to be open to a new way of thinking. So you might ask, what can HCC do to decrease the established mental models? Well, we need to be disciplined in this area, and we need to examine and practice reflection and try to uncover hidden assumptions that might have developed over the years. And when we've done this, our employees will be committed to truth. Building a shared vision is a powerful force. This will bind our staff and faculty and students together as we reach for a common objective. If HCC's shared vision is intrinsic and everyone's working towards this shared vision, the individuals in our college will be committed to the objective instead of simply being compliant. People within our college will work towards a long-term goal and share a special sense of purpose and vision. Shared vision takes our eyes off the problems of today and helps us create a climate of personal vision. Therefore, the leaders of Hillsborough Community College need to be willing to share their personal visions, and that will facilitate creating a shared vision. When individual staff and faculty members are encouraged to share their visions, shared visions can be built from those personal visions. When others commit to a vision, they suddenly become responsible for making that vision happen. So I would like to see HCC continue to work towards sharing a common vision where we will all have an inclination to examine events and decisions in light of our college's vision. We have over 1,490 adjunct faculty members, and we need to be sure that we're including all of our adjunct faculty as part of this shared vision. So we need to think about sharing and spreading a vision. How can we do that? We need to increase clarity. We need to create more enthusiasm about that vision. Communication is always key. We could do that through email. And then finally, we need to think about when we do that, we're causing commitment to happen as we all reach towards that shared vision. And as our vision grows, enthusiasm for that vision is going to grow, and it's going to help the different departments and hierarchies to not get overwhelmed by demands of the current reality, but just keep focusing on the vision. When the faculty and staff are all functioning as a unit, we can pull in the same direction, and this is alignment within our organization. We are all working together to function as a whole, and let me just say that we need to be commended for this. Hillsborough Community College does an excellent job of working together as a unit. All of our 5 campuses and our 3 satellite locations are sharing a vision and pulling together in the same direction to function as one college. We can definitely say we are doing an excellent job with team learning. And there are benefits to such an alignment within our organization. We're all complementing each other's specialties as we move in the same direction. Our energy is harmonized as we deliver teaching and learning opportunities to empower our students to reach their educational goals and to become contributing members of our community. This shared vision that we've talked about brings us to a place of trying to complement each other's efforts. For example, here we have a great security group, and that is helping our students and our faculty feel safe so that the evening students can come and just concentrate on learning instead of worrying about safety issues or worrying about what's happening to their vehicle in the parking lot. Our facilities department waits patiently for those long evening classes to be over so that they can clean the rooms. And the custodians know that learning's taking place, and that's what Hillsborough Community College is all about. We have been developing a shared vision to deliver teaching and learning opportunities to empower our students. And now our individual divisions are becoming a shared vision where we're all working together. When we have meetings, do we discuss things or do we participate in dialogue? Discussion is likened to a ping pong game or a back and forth conversation on a subject. And the goal of discussion is to win. And we may love our discussions when we all get together in a meeting, but we need to move toward dialogue. Dialogue has a free flow of meaning, and the purpose of dialogue is to go beyond what our current understanding of a situation is. And in dialogue, different individuals can give insights that wouldn't be achieved individually. So we have a group together and they're exploring a complex issue from many points of view. And in dialogue, people often separate themselves from their viewpoint and just kind of glance at their viewpoint and observe it. That's one of the great things about dialogue. Another great thing is that we can explore ideas and have deep listening to one another. When we can take our own ideas and suspend our views in order to truly listen to someone else, then we know dialogue is taking place. In discussion, that ping pong game, views are presented and defended, and there's a searching for the best view to support discussions. Well, here at HCC, we want to protect each other from embarrassment and we want to smooth over all of our differences. But sometimes such a way of dealing with opposing dialogue and discussion prevents us from learning. If we want to participate in systems thinking, we need to have mature teams that are capable of inquiring into complex issues that maybe even conflict one another. Individuals at HCC are learning, but that doesn't really help us. We need team learning. And team learning is such a critical step in building a learning organization. As a collective group, we are more intelligent than we are individually, and our team's IQ is much higher collectively than the IQ of individuals. And when we're dialoguing together, we can explore these complex issues from all kinds of different points of view. There's wisdom in the counsel of many, and as colleagues, we can contribute to a better organization through dialogue. In dialogue, individuals become more creative and less reactive. When we are thinking and learning collectively, our college will be enabled to face the constant development and change that we have seen in recent years. We might have a facilitator that kind of keeps that dialogue moving, and it's important that he or she remembers not to act as an expert, but just to let all the team members participate. And you'll notice that a friendship develops between the different colleagues, even if they've got different views on critical issues facing our college. How can we have effective dialogue? Well, we want to use our skills of inquiry and reflection. We've got to be careful not to confuse our mental models or those preconceived ideas that we have developed about a topic with reality. If our team is going to be learning together, there's going to be conflicts, and that might worry some of us. But the difference between great teams and mediocre teams is how they deal with conflict. As an example, when HCC was asked to change the way that we presented our preparatory classes in English, reading, and math, we experienced some conflict. Some of you remember that. Some thought that the classes should be offered online, and others thought that those students who needed preparatory classes were already struggling and would not be candidates for an online class. Several deans thought that we should perhaps offer a 1-credit-hour learning module, and some of our professors preferred to continue direct instruction. In such situation, individuals might not want to raise a question in the presence of his or her superiors, in this case the deans.